All right, gentlemen. Um, I shouldn't have to introduce this guy. This is Louisville basketball right here to my right. Fortunate enough to be able to be in a position with taking this job of surrounding myself with not just people that I have had relationships with, but that are the best of the best. And for this university to bring back Milt Wagner and me being the person that's starting it, it's pretty special for me because the first day I ever hit this campus, my first meal that I ate on this campus was with Milt and his family. And for all of us that were freshmen in that class, this is the person that we looked up to. Um, so I'm excited, I'm happy that I get to bring him back. Um, it's an unbelievable story, but this is one of the unique situations when I talk about having one of the best staffs in the country and having a championship culture. You're looking at somebody that won it as a college player, but also won it as an NBA player. That's two more championships. Where? Where are other staffs that's done that? This is really unique. So I'm excited, happy. Questions?
Kenny, what will the job description entail, and what do you envision Milt being able to do and help you with this on this staff?
So the job title will be player development and alumni relations. Player development is another word for coach. Maybe not on the floor, maybe not out recruiting, but to spend time with players and really getting to know them, but more importantly, allowing them to get to know you and what your life has been is an important role for me. Um, and it's a unique situation. So I'm excited about that, having Milt day to day be with these guys, sharing his life, but also allowing them to open up to him and share their lives.
Okay, there are rules about non-coaching staffers and relatives who you are recruiting. What did you have to go through to make sure that this would not impact
I'm not really allowed to talk about recruiting, so I have to stay away from the recruiting piece of this, but um, John can answer that over there in the back for me.
Kenny, as you mentioned, first meal you had was with Milt and his family. How's the relationship between you two grown from that moment through the years?
Um, he's a brother. In a true sense of the word, he's my brother. Um, Even when I was playing in Philadelphia, his brother, Day Day, used to come by and see me. I used to spend a lot of time in New Jersey when I was living in Philly. So Milt's been in my life on a regular basis ever since I've been a player here and even as an NBA player. So true family member.
that? You remember when that first meal was?
Yes, in his apartment. Yes. Come on, Eves. I know you got a question. He's shaking his head, Egg.
Congratulations, Milt. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, Jerry.
Great job, Kenny. Bringing back one of our own.
Yes.
Thank you.
Can you talk about the impact of all of this? This is part of a bigger piece of the puzzle in terms of how you see the community and the impact of all of this.
You know, again, this is unique. For me to be the driving force to bringing the past to the future, to help build a culture that we all could be proud of. I think earlier today I was asked a question about what would it feel like for me to win a championship. I can't answer that. What I can say is, what would it feel like for you? What would it feel like for you in this room? What would it feel like for this community, for this university, for this state? I'm only the vehicle that's trying to help it happen. That's it. It's not about me. It's about everybody else. And when I talk about putting something together that's special, look, we can talk about the importance of recruiting players, but it has to start with who those players are with every day. And I think I've done a really good job of putting together a great staff. Not good, great. Now my job is to allow them to have an impact. And I'm gonna do that. They're gonna have an impact on lives. And the next phase is bringing in the best of the best. And then now you're talking about building a true culture of winning. And that's what I'm trying to do.
Kenny, before you filled out your bench staff for your 3 assistants, was there any talk between you and Milt about him potentially filling one of those roles?
No. I just felt like, for me, Milt's been out of it for a while. I want him to get his feet wet. I want him to come back and be in this community. I want this community to go to places and Milt is there with players. Let's start there. Let's start with bringing back the old with the new so that this community remembers Milt Wagner. These kids get to know who Milt Wagner is. That's important.
Milt, over 20 years ago, some people wanted you to be.
We could just keep it to Kenny for now, and then I'll let him get out. I'm sorry. Anything
Ke-
else for Kenny?
Kenny, what about, you've talked about the alums and your brothers and that. How big of a piece will that be for him to help kind of with some of those guys around? And then the second question, the release also said that Reese will be on in some capacity in video.
So to answer the first part of the question, we have a big family. So the former players that have played here, Jerry Ease, you being one, you know the importance of what it's supposed to be like to take pride in this university. Well, that's his job, is to facilitate some of that. These players will no longer feel like they're not a part of this. They are a part of it. This community will know that these players that have poured their heart, soul into this university, they're going to be seen and heard now. That's a part of what my job is. I could easily not be in this role and be one of them. So how would I want it to look for them? That's how I'm making these decisions. What better ambassador for the University of Louisville than to have this man right here? I don't know if you guys remember the glove, the free throws, the part down the middle of the hair. I mean, there's been so many.
Results to that.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is special. This is special.
Kenny, Penny Hardaway.
I got it. So the Reese games. So every position on this staff is vital, not one over the other. Reese Gaines will be in the video room. He will be helping put together game plans for us to win. He is an integral part of this basketball program. And that's important for me to say this. This is not in any way a demotion to him. He is a part of the basketball program. And we need him. I mean, here's another guy that, what did he score here, 2,000 points? Come on, guys. Like, this is Louisville basketball.
Penny Hardaway gave an interview earlier this week where he said he'd reached out to you or was going to reach out to you about a home-and-home series with Memphis. Have you responded to him, and are there any non-conference games that are out of the ordinary that you're considering or about to announce?
Well, Penny did reach out to me, and I told him I'd get back with him. Hadn't done anything yet. We're going through it. We'll see how it falls out. You know, really hadn't had a chance to really dwell all the way into it, but we will.
Any other games out there that you're talking about?
Not yet. Not yet. I'm keeping it secret, man. You know that.
Kenny, I think the last time we talked to you, you were just getting the kind of get to know you phase with your new players. How has that gone, and what has that been like for you?
Well, the players, most of the guys hadn't been here yet. They get here next week. So I'm excited to get everybody on campus. Been talking to a lot of moms. Gonna spend some time with the staff and the families and let everybody know what this is, exactly what this is, what to expect, and to inform them of how much we're gonna need the families as well.
Kenny, I guess with you having been an assistant coach and Milt having been an assistant coach, what kind of things do you feel like you can glean from him, his experience in terms of this new position for you?
Listen, the basketball piece, there's no person sitting in my seat that can do this by themselves. Now, that may sound strange because head coaches typically come off like they got all the answers. You're only going to be as successful as your staff. I need Milt. I need Danny. I need Nolan. I need Josh. I need Reese. I need every person that's a part of this staff, Stephanie included, to help me. Whether it's basketball, I left out a guy, Kenny Klein. I need Kenny Klein. So basically what I'm saying to you is that there's this terminology that they use about programs like this. You have to be the CEO of a company. Well, I'm only going to be as successful as what's surrounding me. And I need the protection, I need the wisdom, I need their experiences. We have Coach Cal in common. Milt worked for Coach Cal. He went to Auburn with Coach Barbee. So he's been in these shoes where he's coached. I'm going to take advantage of that.
Kenny, 80 days or so into the job, is this what you expected?
Great question. It's been, Jerry, it's been at times really fast, and at times it's been slow to a point where it's surreal. And what I mean by that is you have a day off and your mind is racing on, all right, how do I build this to what's the next phase? It's constant. And until you live it, you can't describe it. It's really one of those situations where I can tell you what I'm going through, and it's unless you live this, and the pressure of, one, putting a staff together, two, bringing in players, three, how you bring in the players. Like, are you going to bring in kids that are really talented that may not fit the mold? I have to be really careful and think about a lot of different dynamics to this, because my heart is saying, do what's right, even at the cost of everything else. Do what's right. And I have to follow my heart.
Name, image, and likeness made it difficult.
It's made it very difficult, but for me, I just got to be honest. I don't want a kid to come to Louisville for money. I want a kid to come to Louisville because it's the right fit, because of the people, the Dannys, the Milts, the Nolans, the Josh. For myself, come and get our knowledge. Yes, we got NIL money, but that's not the reason to come here. Come and take advantage of all these great people that I've tried to surround you with, so that you can succeed in life.
Great, thanks, Kenny.
All right, fellas.
Just a little bit here. Let you come over. Milt, to get you in the middle. All right, Pat, I'll let you lead off.
Milt, over 20 years ago, some people wanted to be an assistant coach here. Now you finally are. What's the feeling being back at your alma mater? What was the feeling then when you didn't get a job?
Well, I truly believe timing is everything. You know, it wasn't the right time at that time. And now the opportunity presented itself. I got my brother as the head coach, gave me an opportunity to come back, be a part of a historic program where I won a championship with, which we won a championship together. So I believe this is just the right time and situation. I'm just so happy to be here.
Milt, he talks about championship culture and listed off the multiple championships that he and you and other members of his staff have. How much, from your perspective, how much of a difference will that make working with the kids, recruiting other players and things like that?
I think it would make a big difference because we've been there, we've done that. Most of our staff has won national championships. I've won an NBA championship. And we know what it takes to get to that level. I think kids respect that. You know, they believe me, they do their research on who they coming to play for. So they look at our backgrounds and they see all the experiences we had and all the things we've done. So I think it plays a big part in getting kids here.
Milt, Kenny alluded to the pressures. Now that you're going to be helping him, do you feel the pressure to win a national championship and put Louisville back in the prominence that it's been?
Well, you know me, Ease. I ain't scared of pressure. You know, come on. No, come on. No, I don't feel like it's pressure. I mean, I think we got enough experience, and as long as we do our job, I think we'll be heading toward that right direction to win that national championship here and bring it back to Louisville.
You talk about the importance of timing and working out now for you. A few years ago, this job was open and Kenny didn't get it, and I wonder what you were going through at that time in terms of, were you hoping he would get it, were you disappointed, and then kind of what happened once he got the job in terms of your expectations?
Well, you know, you kind of, just like I said, it was timing. You know, of course you would want your brother to get the job, but, you know, it didn't happen. Hey, you just had to move on and knew the opportunity would present itself eventually somewhere, wherever it was going to be. Just fortunate it's here, you know, because every guy wanted to play for his or coach for his alma mater. I mean, that's just what it is. You know, I've always wanted to be here. Kenny has always wanted to be here. Timing was right for him. Now the timing is right for me. So we're both here together, and we're going to try to get this program back to where it needs to be and try to win us a national championship.
Yeah, Milt, there's a lot of guys that played here that weren't from here, and then after they were done, they went back to where they grew up or whatever. But 6 years ago, you came back here. Why did you come back to Louisville, and what's been the pull for you?
Well, as a player, I saw how former players came back every year. A lot of guys come back and live here. And I just felt like I knew I was coming back here when all my playing career was over or coaching career was over. I knew I was going to come back here to live. I knew that leaving college in '86. So that was a no-brainer. And you see so much of our former players that still live here right now. So every time I come back every summer, I see some of my guys, some of the guys I didn't play for, but former players that live here in Louisville. So I felt like it was a brotherhood that I just want to come back to and be a part of.
Will you be teaching free throw shooting?
Oh, absolutely.
But how would you describe, you know, what your role is going to be with the players?
Well, basically, I'm like a liaison between KP and the players. You know, I'll kind of just tell them what KP likes and what he's looking for, and just experiences. You know, because I know everything KP is thinking, pretty much, and them guys are coming to me. Things KP might not know that I can get out of the guys, you know, and I'll let him know that. So I'm just kind of like the middleman, just to help them communicate between coach and player and just tell them some of my experiences.
What's the hardest part of have kids changed where it's tougher to get your message to them where they understand?
Yes, you know, you have different kids these days. You know, it could be a little difficult, but just like I said, you know, kids, they do their homework. You know, they look at your background, and a lot of kids, they'll respect what you have achieved, and a lot of them will listen a lot more when they know that you've been there, done that, and you can help them get to where they're trying to get to. So I don't think it'll be a problem.
A lot has been said over the course of time about former players and the disconnect maybe with previous staffs. How do you help create or create where there's not a divide between former players now and bringing them back?
Well, just like Coach Payne has said, we want to let players know this is their team. Our former players, this is their team also. You know, We want them to feel connected to this team and let them know they're family. We all family. We want our current players to know that they have family outside of us here at the staff, that they got former players that have been there, and we all brothers. We're all the family, and we want to make this a family situation here. So I think that's my job, just to bring our former players back. And I know they've been wanting to come back for the longest, so I don't think that'd be a problem. So, we got open hands to these guys. That, this is their program.
Milt, do you envision this being a long-term thing for you, this position?
Yeah, I'm taking it one step at a time. I'm just happy to be here, to be truthful. I'm here. I'm at my alma mater with my brother KP. Got a great coaching staff with us. I'm just ready to get started and get this program back to where it needs to get to.
You're now watching a third generation of Wagner basketball standouts play. What has it been like to watch your son and now your grandson and other people in the family just take up this sport and excel at it?
Oh, it's great. It's just it's great to just watch my family progress in this basketball world. So I just continue watching. But right now, this is just about me being on this coaching staff and just be a part of the University of Louisville.
Milt, when you were at Memphis, DeJuan was there. We all know that your grandson is one of the top players in the country. Do you have to stay out of that in terms of what happens going forward in recruiting of him?
Well, I'm not getting into that right now. Like I said, this is just about me getting on the staff this year. This is about Milt Wagner being player development / alumni relations. We'll get into that part later on down the line, but right now this is about me being part of the University of Louisville.
Milt, how much more involved or complicated is the job that you're taking? I mean, what things do you see now that you didn't see in some of your other stops?
Well, I don't think it's pretty much the same, basically. Being at my position, I'm just not on the floor, but still I'm pretty much have the coach mindset. I get to talk to the players, tell them what they need to be doing, what they should be doing, things like that. So I don't think it's any difference, just that I'm not on the court doing it. I'll be off the court, just still being kind of like they mentor. Just like I said, I'm the middleman between Coach Payne and the players, and just kind of helping them get through and be successful at what they're trying to do.
You talk about bringing back the players and making them feel like it's their program and that's part of your job. Does that mean if they're like upset about the offense or something?
Well, I ain't gonna get that far with it, but we'll listen. But
Milt, how would you describe, I guess, your relationships with the other guys on the staff right now, and Danny, Josh, and Nolan?
Oh man, I played against Danny. We had some battles together, so I've been knowing him. Now, of course, I know Nolan. I played with his dad, so I've been knowing Nolan since he's a little kid. And I know Josh through Kenny. So, of course, Reese is an alumni. So it's like I said, it's one big happy family. We all know each other. It's not like we all strangers to each other. So we have that camaraderie that we can have.
Milt, when Kenny was talking about the dinner at your apartment way back when, how much did you guys stay in touch over the course of years? I mean, was it something that it was weekly conversations or just kind of in general? Kind of give us a sense of the last 10 years, maybe what it's been like.
Well, basically, it wouldn't be every week, but, we follow each other's career. Everybody, all our brothers, we follow each other's career. We get a chance to holler. Like if they accomplish something along the way, we'll call them, congratulations, this and that. Congratulations on a new job or a big win. We just stay in contact like brothers. When a brother do something well, or even just for conversation, we'll call just to say how you doing, how's everything going. Or we might try to get advice from each other because we both was in the coaching world. I might call him for some advice. He might call me. So we just stay in contact like that all the way through, even as players. When he was playing with the Sixers, I played for the Lakers, Miami Heat, and I played overseas. We all stayed in contact with each other. So that's been an ongoing thing since I left, in '86. So just like I said, we brothers. That's the bottom line. We've been brothers then, and we're still brothers now.
You remember at any point in your relationship with him, you remember when you thought, like, he's going to be a coach? Like, Kenny's do this?
Well, probably the middle of the season, because I played with Kenny his freshman year, okay? So he was still trying to fill out what he was going to do. He didn't really know what he knew he wanted to play basketball and get to the league. But I think once he became junior and senior, you kind of seeing, you know, the detail that he had toward the game that possibly he was going to be a college coach.
You played with him what was he like that first year? Obviously, he had some big moments, but you know he was on the bench and watched you guys win the '86 championship. What was he like as a teammate? There?
He was one of them shy kids, you know. He shake his head like that, you know. But you know, he didn't say much. Like I said, from Laurel, Mississippi, he was kind of to himself. But you could tell he was 6'8" and really shoot it. So you knew the potential was there. And you know, he was playing behind some good players, some great players. You know, Billy, Herb Crook. You know, and Purvis. So he had some guys in front of him. But, you know, he learned from them guys. When his opportunity came, he took advantage of it.
Bill, you were around some this past year. You were at some games and you watched the guys. Now that you're part of his staff, how do you guys, the guys that are coming back, take them and move forward and put last year and kind of rip the rearview mirror off?
Well, we just, like I said, you put last year behind. It's a new era. You got new coaches, new system. And we're just going to put them guys in positions to be successful. That's the bottom line. We look at every guy's ability, and we try to put them in the best position to be successful. So,
Milt, from last year's group and those guys coming back, who really kind of impressed you?
well, everybody that's coming back actually has something. Sydney has some good moments. Ellis has some good moments. JJ has some good moments. So we got a lot of guys that had good moments that all we got to do is to get them to put it together all together for a whole season.
Anything else, anyone?